Y'all know what it is. It is a part 2 of the dumpster dive video. So last week I showed you how I dumpster dive, or I told you how I dumpster dive, not necessarily dumpster diving, but dumpster diving at Joann's and scored me some free patterns. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you on a trip of simplicity patterns. All right. So if that's some content you would like to see, please continue to watch.
Where's Da Vinci?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video I am going to be showing you those patterns. First, the ones that I purchased, and then the ones that I got for free during the dumpster dive. I went back Sunday, and when I went back Sunday, I scored some macaw patterns. So I'll show you that in the wrap up of this entire dumpster dive next week doing the macaw sales. Then that way you are able to see those patterns and hopefully pick up some new ones for the new drop that I just posted Friday of the new Know Me and macaw patterns. I'm hoping that those patterns are in my store. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into it. But if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hello, ciao, guten tag, aloha, hola, konnichiwa, wagwan, sambanani, solon, bonjour. If you're returning, y'all know what to do because y'all some OGs by now. Go get your coffee, your tea, your water, something to drink, whatever it is, right? Okay. And your snacks, and let's go ahead and get into it. Now, first, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go to that concession stand called AKA Your Kitchen or your pantry, and then go ahead and get your snacks, and then we'll go ahead and get into it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into it. All right, so we're gonna start with the patterns that I purchased first. All right, and then we're gonna get into the patterns that I picked up for free. So we're gonna keep this video as brief as possible, but give you all the details. Y'all know how I do. Some of these things are funny. So we're gonna go ahead and get right on into it and not waste any time, baby. All right, so the first pattern that I picked up is a 9776. Come on, if you're looking for the plus size, which is Aronica needle and the bell, that pattern is 9777. So I went ahead and picked up this one because guess what, y'all? It's a no. It is a notions, but it's no zippers, no buttons, no snap, just elastic. So this is an elastic pattern. The elastic just go around your waist. Now for me, I plan on making view A on this pattern. So yeah, I went ahead and picked this pattern up, okay? And I plan on putting this in my wardrobe pretty soon, all right? But this is 9776. Let's go ahead and get to the next pattern. So the next one is 9778. I like this pattern. It is so similar to the last pattern, which I think is 9598. I'll put it up on the screen so you're able to see that. But I like this one, and I'm planning on doing both, one in like a print and then the other one in just a solid color. So I went ahead and picked this one up. Now for me, I plan on doing view B on the pattern, but also chop it to the knees. All right. But this is 9778. Let's get over to the next one. The next one is 9780. Now I picked up both sizes, the 6 to 14 and the 16 to 24 for two separate reasons. You guys know, like in the bust area, I pretty much need the smaller size in most cases, but when it comes to the hip, I may need the bigger side. So I picked up both to not have any type of issues whatsoever. And they were $1.99. Why not, right? But this is an easy to sew pattern. They say easy, but in terms of notion, come closer because I want to tell you something, okay? You need no notions. Now on the back of the envelope, it's going to tell you you need a 1/2 inch single fold bias, but you could always draft use some facing, which I have a video about that, and I'll go ahead and put it up right here and put it in the description box below how you can draft you some facing when you don't want to use bias tape and save you some coins, okay? Because that's exactly what I will be doing. I will not be using bias tape whatsoever. I'll be drafting me some facing, use some more fabric scraps, all right? Draft that facing and save me some coins. But once again, this is 9780. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So the next one is 9782. I super duper love this pattern when it came out, and I seen it and I knew I was gonna get it because I need more tops to put in my wardrobe for work, right? And I could definitely see myself sewing view C, but also view A. So both of them in a solid color, for sure. Now, when it comes to Notion, you're gonna need some buttons. So, you know, this is not one where it's gonna be no zippers, no snaps, no, no buttons, none of that. You need buttons for this one, all right? But this is 9782. Let's go ahead and get over to the next one. So the next one, I know so many of you came screaming for this pattern when I posted the release, but this is 9783. Now, I like this one. I like what the model is wearing in view D for sure. So that's the one that I plan on doing. But this one, you will need an invisible zipper in order to put this pattern together. But once again, it's 9783. Moving over to the next one. Next one, y'all, come on. 9784, yes, baby. And for this one, view B is what I plan on doing. And guess what? You need no Notion. So this needs to be on your list. If it's not, now I know you probably like, I'm not a fan of cutouts, Rochelle. You absolutely right. But guess what? You could go ahead and drop this to close it up a little bit so you do not show a lot of your back, because I know some people's like, oh, you know, I got these rolls. Guess what? It's arms out, summer's out, everything's out. Show those rolls and show your body. Be confident in yourself, honey. All right. So I plan on doing view B on this pattern, and I'm going to let everything show, rolls and all. Okay. I love myself. So this is 9784. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 9785. Y'all know I am here for these cargo pants, okay? So I plan on doing view C, but I also like what the model is wearing in view A. They claim it's an easy to sew pattern, okay? I'm just saying. But if you do view A and view B, you will only need elastic. So write this down. If you are doing view A or view B, it's one of those elastic only patterns, all right? View C, you will need some buttons unless you just decide not to do the cargo on the side of your pockets, okay? But write this down as the elastic only pattern. Moving over to the next pattern. Next one is a 9791. If you've been following me, you already know it's already closed. It was the next 3 sew-alongs for the summertime. This one is on it. This one, I don't know which ones win. I'll announce which patterns won, but I'm going to say, just go ahead and pick up all the patterns that was on there and just wait for the sew along. All right. But this is 9791. I am here for both the top, the skirt, and the pants. All 3 of them for this pattern. It's an easy to sew pattern. So yes, this is 9791. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 9792. It is a jumpsuit. Yes, 1960s vintage pattern. And like I mentioned before, you will need a zipper. So you may think that you don't need nothing. You need a zipper, okay? But I like this pattern. It's 2 main pattern pieces for this one. Easy to cut, easy to sew, so it says. And I'm just hoping when it comes to the instructions are clear. Reason being is because most vintage patterns that's even reissued, they are written as it was back when they first came out. All right, so this is 9792. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. So the next one is 9793. It is, the vintage pattern is 5404, but this is the 2 main piece pattern. It's easy to cut and easy to sew. It's a just pattern from 1970s, okay? So for this one, you will need a pack of straight seam binding, but like I said, I draft my own facing. I don't like that seam binding, single fold bias tape. I'm not here for that. But the seam bindings probably goes at the bottom or around the armhole is what I could see that for. But this is $97.93. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. The next one is $97.94. Now the old vintage pattern is $69.19 if you have that pattern for my old heads, right? When I say old head, no disrespect whatsoever. It's the older ladies, all right? I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone right now. But it's 1970s vintage pattern. It's $97.94. This is a knit pattern, okay? I love this pattern. So for me, I plan on doing the top, not necessarily the dress, just the top is what I'm looking for to do. And you know, something super sexy just to wear to like date night with my husband and stuff like that. So that's what I'm planning on doing for this pattern, but it's $97.94. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next pattern is $97.95. One plug right now. This pattern is part of hashtag Let's Sew Pink. So if you have not seen that Mimi G, Simplicity, and Brittany J. Jones, or maybe it's just Simplicity, however, they are doing Let's Sew Pink for the month of June, starting July 1st and July 30th. So you have a little bit of time to go get you some pink fabric and sew something up in pink. Now, one caveat, and I'm going to put the flyer up. They have patterns that you can use. You cannot just use any pattern and sew it up in pink. I wish, okay? But this is one of the patterns that was featured in the clip that, you know, came out. Basically, it was a post and a reel about Let's Sew Pink. So this is one of the patterns you can do. It's an easy sew pattern and all you need is some elastic, all right? So if you want to go for something quick, easy, and still participate, this can be the pattern for you. Now, I am participating, but I have decided to choose a different pattern. So it won't be this one, all right? But I do plan on participating and having my garment done by the end of this month, all right? Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next one is a kid's pattern, 9801. It's for my daughter, nothing else to say. Let's move over to the next one. Next one is 9802. This is a Madeline pattern, like a lingerie style pattern. I like this pattern for sure. I am here for both view A and view B. Listen, my husband would love me in this one, all right? No offense, but come on, ladies. Your man see you in this. What do you think is gonna happen? All right, come on. All right, let's keep it PG right here on this channel. 9802, all right? But I like this pattern and I plan on sewing it up pretty soon. Moving over to the next one. All right, so the next one is 97.99. It is a kid's pattern once again. I said this before when I did the release that my daughter has something coming up at the end of the month that she needs to be a little dressy for. She selected this pattern and want to do this pattern. So I don't know if I would post it, but I will make it and may not post it on the channel. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to post her in this or not. Stay tuned for that. All right. So those are all the patterns that I actually purchased with my own money. Okay. So let's go ahead and get over to the patterns that I got for free that was dumpster dived for. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So the first pattern that I got for free was 8837. This pattern right here. Now I started putting the year that they came out simply because I need to put these away and I don't have time to be hunting for where they go. So because I normally don't put my patterns away, my daughter do, I make it a little easier for her because when you have a helper, you want to make it easier for them as well, right? So this is 8837. Listen, I am here for almost all the views. I like view A for the spring, summertime, view B for the winter time, long sleeves, and then view D right here for the summertime, okay? So you can literally have 4 simple tops with just one pattern, all right? But this is the first one, 8837. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next pattern is 8836. Now listen, I don't know how I skipped this pattern when it first came out. I have no idea how that happened. However, I am here for the color block in view D. So yes, I am here for that. This is super cute. All you need is a zipper and some piping. Now, let me tell you this. I have not done piping in forever and a day. So I might actually do this pattern just to test out my piping skills, okay? But this is 8836. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one, 8871. I don't have this pattern, but now I do. But I like what the model is wearing in view A. This is super cute. But I think because this pattern came out in spring 2019, that's 4 years ago. However, I think when I seen this, I seen it as like a lady that's just wearing like a nightgown. All right, so that's probably why I didn't pick it up. But my style typically changes every 2 to 3 years. So now this is my style, probably because I'm getting older. I don't know. But this is 8871. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. The next one is 8872. Now, I had the fabric back in the days. This is 2019 as well. But I had the fabric to this one before. But if I had that fabric and had this pattern and mix them together, I think that would be cute. But I am here for view C, what the model is wearing here. So yes, I went ahead and bought, well, not bought it, but I took this home with me. You might as well say I bought it. It was free. 8872. Let's move over to the next one. Next one is an old pattern, and I'm going to put this plug here, 8891. Now, I have this pattern, or so I think. And the reason why I said so I think is because I made this pattern before. I have made view A in a stripe. I have made view B in a teal along with the shorts. And then I have made basically all the views on here. Yes, I have made every single view on here. Now, Brittany J. Jones also has like a build a wardrobe where you have to purchase, and she did this pattern, which made me go out and purchase this pattern to support. Now, I looked at my stash and noticed that I did not have this pattern because I guess I threw it out after making it because I made it like well, I made view A once. I made view B twice. I made view C twice. And then I made the shorts once and the pants once. So I sewn this pattern quite sometimes, you know. And I like this pattern. I would make it again for sure. But once again, it's 8891. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 8928. I like this one. It's a it's a swimsuit and a cover up. I like it. I'm here for both view C and view B on this pattern. Cynthia Rowley pattern. But I like this. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. So the next one is 8947. I am so happy I was able to find this one. I think it was Legionero Barnes from Legionero Barnes here on YouTube and on Instagram. I believe she's the one who actually made this one. And I'm here for it. 8947. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. And one thing I want to mention about this pattern, you need nothing. You need no notion. So write this down for no notion patterns. All right. Moving over to the next one. 8989. This one right here. So I am here for view B with the toggle, which is kind of like a waterfall jacket. I am here for that view as well. Now, in terms of notions for view A, you need nothing. A no notion pattern for view A. View B and C, you will need some notions as well. But if you want this pattern and if you could find this pattern, all right, go with view A, no notions. All right, let's move over to the next one. All right, so the next pattern is 9141. Y'all, I've been wanting this pattern since it's released, and now I have it. Let me say something about this pattern. So, not to go into full details, but back in 2020, it was some issues about a lot of these patterns and the pattern cover. So my local Joann's, and I have 14 within a 30-mile radius of my house, 14 different Joann's that I could go to, all right, within like 25 miles apart from my house and to the furthest Joann's, all right? So with that being said, when you go to 2 or 3 Joann's and do not see this pattern and it was just released, they decided to pull a lot of these spring and summer 2020 patterns from the drawer. One particular pattern was, I believe the pattern number was 9135. I'm still looking for that pattern. I know Marika from Hey Marika Mitchell, she sewn that pattern, and she talked about in a blog post how you can take a pattern that just looked like right, and make it fabulous, because the model did not do that pattern justice. They literally made the model look really, really bad. Okay, so this is one that I was able to find. It was just looking me in my face like, get me now or forever hold your peace. All right. But this is 9141. It was a rack number, so I did write on the pattern and write the season that it came out so my daughter could file it. All right. So let's go ahead and move over to the next one. So the next one is 9138. It's a summer 2020 pattern. Now you will need an invisible zipper for this pattern. Listen, I definitely do not need anything with long sleeve, but I'm here for only the long sleeve. Like, I'm not here for view A, but I am definitely here for view C. But chop it all the way up to the knees, because I don't need nothing past my knees, simply because it will literally make me look like I'm in the choir singing hymns or whatever when it's past my knee. I don't need that. Like, I'm not super tall, but I'm not super short. I'm 5'6", so I'm average height for a woman. So, you know what I mean? So I'm here for view C, and I'm gonna chop that up to the knee, so I might as well just make view B. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next pattern, I actually did a sew along for this pattern, I believe. I did a sew along for this pattern, but it's 9227. All right, so I believe I did a sew along for this pattern last year in 2022 for the business wardrobe series. I'm gonna put it up if it was actually this pattern where I did a sew along for both the pants and the jacket. Now, after sewing the pattern together, I can no longer find it. So I'm just wondering if it accidentally fell in the trash and got thrown away that way, but it is not in my pattern drawer. It's nowhere in my sewing room. And the only two places that I would have patterns is either in my sewing room or in the pattern drawer. Nowhere else around my house. My patterns are not allowed to go upstairs, period. So I think that's what happened, but I have it again, and this is 9227. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. So the next one you would definitely want to write down, because this is a no notions pattern. It is 8742. I've been wanting to sew this pattern for so long. I already had it in my stash, and I just picked it up again because I wasn't sure if I actually had it, because I purchased some fabric 2 years ago for this one. And it's some leopard print. I'm just gonna tell you, it's no big deal, no big secret. Some leopard print fabric that I wanted to do this pattern for the winter time. And then what happened with that is it got too hot. It was the first year that I started living in Florida and noticed that it's too hot to be sewing coats and jackets. So even though I have the pattern, I will probably still do it, but only get to wear it every once in a blue moon, and that's okay with me. All right, just make it really, really lightweight. That's what I will do. But it's 8742. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. The next one, listen, I already have this pattern, and I picked it up again because I think I'm gonna cut into this pattern pretty soon, by the end of the summer, hopefully. But it's 8546. I know Jamara from So Jam, she sewn this one when I did the Battle of the Shirt Dress last year. Fabulous, fabulous one. I know Montoya Mayo, she also did it. And I plan on doing pretty much the same fabric that she did. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for this dress as well. I probably will not use this for a Battle of the Shirt Dress. Just a plug here. I know you guys wondering, like, you said you're doing Battle of the Shirt Dress. When are they coming? The month of August, okay? You can stop asking me. Simply because I had way too many collaborations going on in the month of June. And then I have a collaboration in the month of July, which is lots of garments for the month of July as well. So I am going to be doing Battle of the Shirt Dress the entire month of August. So I will share with you guys what those patterns are as I post. All right. So for those of you who wanted to know, are you sewing anything for Battle of the Short Dress? Yes, ma'am. And you will start seeing those videos pop up in the month of August. All right. So even though I announced it in March and it's supposed to be one shirt dress a month, you guys already know, if you guys been listening to my videos, I had a lot going on with family in April and May. So I was like, I already missed 2 months. June, I had a lot of collaborations and lots of videos going on. And then July, another collaboration that's big too. So August it is. All right. But this is 8546. Let's go ahead and get over to the next pattern. Next one, 8635. How in the world could I pass this pattern up? No. All right. So I like that crisscross detail. I am here for the jumpsuit. The dress is cute and all that good stuff, but I am here for the jumpsuit. All right. Moving over to the next one. Next one is 8292. I know you're going to need a zipper for sure in the back. All right. So let me tell you this. You would think that I would like it for C. Nah. I actually like it for the basic dress, which is view D. All right. When I say basic, it's basic like the dress that I have on, which is Butterick 6718. I plan on doing this dress again, but hacking it. I plan on adding a slit sleeve to the side. All right. And make it color block. Okay. I think I want to just do black and white and just make a stripe all the way through. I think that would be cute. But I'm going to plan it out in my head before drafting it onto some drafting paper. All right. But this is 8292. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. Next one is 8416. I like this pattern for sure. I am here for basically what this model is wearing right here. The white shirt, which is view C on this pattern. So yeah, I actually like what the model is wearing, that white button-down shirt. It's a button-down shirt, but in the back it has ties. So I like that detail. So y'all need to get this pattern, 8416. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. The next pattern is 8601. Y'all, I wrote all over this pattern because I want to do every single view, every last view. It's an easy to sew pattern, and guess what? You just need a button. But if you do not want to use button and the elastic cording like it shows on the back of the envelope, guess what you could do? Save you some coins, write this pattern down, because if you do what I'm finna tell you to do, it's a no notions pattern. Make you some ties like I have done. I have a video and I'm gonna put it in the description box below and on the end screen on how to make you some ties and sew it on the back of your top. Okay, you could definitely do that. Then you could alleviate having a button, thread cording, elastic cording, and all that stuff. You guys know I do not like a button in the back of my tops. That's just me. All right. But this is 8601, easy to sew pattern. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. So the next one is 8299. It's the easy to sew pattern, and it is pants. I am here for the elastic pants. Guess what? No zippers, no snaps, no buttons. Guess what? Just elastic. So write it down, 8299. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. All right, so the next pattern, I want to thank Yvonne. And the reason why I want to thank Yvonne from Jamaica is because I literally ordered this pattern for her from eBay, like I want to say about a year and a half ago. She said something about this pattern and I was able to get it in the size that she needed, but they only had one copy. So because she stays in Jamaica and unable to get patterns, I picked it up for her. However, listen, I went to my Joann's to try to find it in my size. Well, basically for both of us, right? They did not have it in my size. They did not have it in hers either. So with that being said, thank you, Yvonne. I was able to get it for free. But this is 8413. Y'all, I am here for the slip dress and that kimono style jacket. Yes, I plan on doing, what views are these? View A, view C, view B, like all the views. Okay, so I am here for this pattern. next spring. All right, not this summer, but probably next spring. You will be seeing me do this pattern and you'll be like, okay, Rochelle, I see you. Where you going, girl? 8413. I need to learn how to read, y'all. 8413 though. Let's go ahead and get into the next pattern. Next one, listen. If I had the business wardrobe series going on like a couple of years ago, I would have definitely done this pattern, but it's still on my list to do. It's 8557. This would be a good pattern for me to put in my wardrobe as a business, even though it looks more like loungewear, but you could dress it up with some heels or some wedges and make it look really business related attire. All right, get into this pattern and guess what? You just need elastic. So put this on your list. Go to eBay, Etsy, or Amazon if it's not in your pattern drawer. And thank me later for saying, Rochelle told me it's just elastic only. All right, it's 8557. Moving over to the next one. Next one, listen, you're not gonna need nothing. This is a no notion pattern, okay? This is 85 and 95, all right? No notion, none, nada, zero, nothing, nada, right? It's 85 and 95, no notions, all right? So get into this pattern, go ahead and pick it up, 85, 95. This is for my true beginners. If you want to learn how to sew with knits, but with no notion, get into this pattern. 85.95. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. So the next one is 86.47, y'all. A top pattern. So I like the little off the shoulder, but I'm really here for view D on this pattern with the model and the back's wearing. It's like a simple basic top. So I like that as well, but it's 86.47. Nothing much for this pattern, but you will need elastic. So write this down for your elastic only pattern for my true beginners. All right. Moving over to the next one. Next one is 86.48. I like this. This is kind of like a duster style pattern. I am here for view A. Nothing more to say about this pattern. You will need some single fold bias tape. If you don't want that bias tape, you know what to do. Draft you some facing pieces. And then you will need, oh no, 12 half-inch buttons. That's where my excitement went to, oh nah. But it's 86.48. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. Next one, go ahead and write this down. I'll give you a minute. You just need elastic. Yep, that's it. It is 86.88. Now, you will also need some single fold bias tape. But once again, you already know what to do. Anytime you see single fold bias tape and you don't want to buy none, make you some facing. All right, but it's 86.88. I am here for the asymmetrical look, which is view D on this pattern. But let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 86.93. I know Mimi G sewn this one before. I'm here for what the model is wearing, which is view A on this one. But I could also see myself making view C with the buttons on the side of the arm. I could actually see myself doing that as well. But this pattern is 86.93. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. So the next one, I have this pattern, but I picked it up again because I want to cut into one of the patterns and keep the other one intact. But it's 86.97. It's just an oversized boyfriend style jacket. I am definitely here for view A, not the color block, just the plain one right here, and make it oversized. I think that would be cute, but it's 86.97. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 86.98. It's a pair of jogging pants. Y'all, I love these jogger pants. And you would just need elastic. You will also need some cording as well. And it does say you need zippers. So it's not an elastic only pattern. I was trying to get there, but depending on your view, you will need some extra notions. All right, but this is 96.98. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. The next one is 8700. And this pattern, y'all, I like a military style jacket, right? So this one you can hack so many different ways, but I think for me, I would do it in kind of like an army green style color and then put a lot of patches that I already own on it. But I think this one would be a good hacking pattern. pattern. I know Brittany J. Jones has a tutorial for this one as well, but it's 8700. Let's go ahead and get over to the next one. Next one is 8741. Y'all, so listen, I like view C and I like view D on this pattern. But here's the thing with this pattern. I like the view, like view C, it's more like a fur type jacket. It actually says faux fur and fur-like fabrics. But here's one thing that I will say. View D, I could see myself hacking that pattern, adding a zipper so it could zip up and down, and then take a Pinterest inspired photo and hack it and make it my own. I have done that before with a Nordstrom $300 cardigan, which I will definitely go ahead and put up on the screen, but I will also put that video in the description box below if you are interested on how I draft it. Now, that video is all about the drafting, and then you'll see what it came out to be. I did not do a sew along for it, but if you want to sew along to that video, please let me know and I will take out all the pieces and redo it so you can see the sew along for that. All right, but you gotta let me know in the comment section below. But this is 8741. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one, elastic, elastic, elastic. Yes, that's it. Write it down. Go to eBay, Etsy, or Amazon for this pattern. 8787. Yes, baby. It's just a knit dress. You could turn a basic knit dress into fabulous. All right, but this is 8787. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one, 8788. I think it was Martika from Martika J Make. I think she's the one who actually made this top. Fabulous. Write it down. Take a picture. All right. You will need some elastic for sure. But I like this one right here, view A, because it just reminds me of kind of like a tube top with some elastic at the top, but then you can move it around and just have one shoulder and just have that asymmetrical situation going on and still be cute and put together. All right, but this is 8788. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 8789. It's a bodysuit. I like this, but I like the one with like the elastic sleeve, which is view C right here. Yeah, I love bodysuits, but the only thing about it is long sleeves is what draws my attention. I'm not here for the sleeveless options. So 8789, we're gonna go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 8792. This is a skirt pattern. So here's the thing. I like the pattern, but I'm not 100% in love with this pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I picked it up, I was like, oh, I can see myself making it. Now that I'm showing this pattern, it's like, do I really like this pattern? It's doable. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't choose patterns just because they were free. I looked at patterns that I would actually make. And when I first saw this pattern, I was like, yeah, I'll make that pattern. But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know. But it's 8792. It's just kind of like a skirt. You can make it high-waisted as well in any view. But if I make this pattern, it will probably be view B or view E on this pattern for sure. But it's 8792. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is 8636. So it's just a Mrs. top or dress. This one, you will need some elastic. Write it down. Elastic only. 8636. Let's go ahead and move into the last few patterns. All right, so let's talk about the next pattern. It's 8244. It's a 1950s vintage pattern. So you guys, the old number for this vintage pattern does not show on the envelope, but I like it. I actually like view B, but I know I would chop it up to the knees. This pink dress right here. But it's 8244. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. So the next one is another vintage pattern. It's a GIF pattern. It's 8253. But this one right here, you will need a zipper in the back. It's 3 main pattern pieces for this one. Easy to cut, easy to sew, and you're good in and out the dough. But this one is 8253. I like that. Basic shift dress. No, nothing other than a zipper. All right, so this would be kind of like in my stash to sew quickly. If I'm looking for a dress to sew quickly in a solid color, a go-to. All right, 8253. Moving over to the next one. So the next one, yet again, another vintage pattern. It's 1960, and this one is 8254. Yes, this is a designer fashion pattern. So I like it. I don't even know what to say about it. I like it. When I said, I was like, oh, I like that pattern. Now, when this pattern came out, I wasn't into vintage patterns whatsoever. Anytime one came out, I would skip over a vintage pattern. But now, I'm not saying 40 is the new vintage. Okay, I'm not saying that. But I'm starting to like these vintage patterns that are reissued, okay? But it's 8454. I'm sorry, 8254. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one is another GIF pattern, aka vintage pattern. It's 8255. And this one, you will need a zipper, all right? So it's three main pattern pieces for this one. I like this pattern. I literally had this pattern and I did a live pattern sale about a year or two ago. And I gave it away. But now it's back in my stash and I'm not giving it away this time, all right? But this 8255, let's go ahead and move over to the next one. Next one, 8303. I've been looking for this pattern for such a long time and I'm just happy to have found this pattern. It's 8303. I plan on doing all views on this pattern, the jacket, the top, the pants. Yes, definitely. It's 8303. Moving over to the next one. There's only 4 more patterns that I'm going to show you, but one of the patterns, I had this pattern before and I cut the sides too big. I did this pattern very early on when I picked sewing back up after having my after having my son. So this is part of the Sew It Academy, which is 8378. This pattern right here. So one thing that I will mention is when I was pregnant with my son, I didn't do any sewing. I didn't sew for about a year and a half after having my son. I just collected patterns, honestly. I didn't literally start trying to sew again until he was about 2. And then I put it down again for a couple of months because I was getting frustrated with, you know, postpartum depression. Everybody I won't say everyone goes through it, but that's what it was. I was losing my mind as a new mom for a second time with a big gap between 2 children, right? But this pattern is back in my stash and I'm gonna sew it up because you only need elastic. It's an easy to sew pattern. It's 8378. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. All right, so the next one is 8385. Yes, baby. One more time. Yes, baby. 8385. I like it. I like what the model is wearing and I'm here for that, and that's it. All right. Moving over to the next pattern. The next one is 8389. I forgot to write on this one, but I will be doing so before my mini me says something to me. Okay. But I like the shorts. I like pretty much every single view. So many sewers have done this pattern. So it's just my time to kind of like pull it out and do it. You're going to need elastic. All right. But it's 8389, easy to sew pattern. Let's go ahead and move over to the last pattern. So this last pattern, I already had this pattern in my stash, but I went ahead and got it again because it was free, number 1. Number 2, Talisha from Creativity by T sewn this pattern, I think twice. And I was like, you know what? I need to pull this out of my stash. However, because I purchased so many patterns, y'all, so many patterns every season, I started using Tupperware bins, the long ones, you know, to kind of store my older patterns. So it got mixed up in the jumble and could not find this pattern nowhere because I was going to take it out and sew it after seeing what she made with it. Well, that didn't happen. So I have it now and it's 8379, easy to sew pattern. 1 pattern piece, but it's 3 pieces total. All right. But this is the last pattern, 8379. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. That's all the patterns. I mean all the patterns for simplicity. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and since you made it this far, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and also smash that notification bell so you are notified every time your girl uploads a new video. So stay tuned for next week as I drop that last video as part of the McCall's dumpster dive. All right, so I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, keep sewing.
Where's Da Vinci?
They picking sides, they crossing the line.